Before you listen to this, understand one thing. This is not a confession. This is not a breakdown. And it is definitely not a suicide note. But if you think I sound unstable, then maybe you should stop listening now. Because what happened in that house was real. At least, I think it was. 3 months ago, I inherited a house from my uncle. We weren't close. In fact, I barely knew him. So my first thought wasn't grief. It was convenience. I had a wife, newborn twin daughters, and a job that barely gave me time to breathe. I didn't need another property dragging me down. My plan was simple. Go there, sort the paperwork, sell it, leave. A week at most. I told my job I could work remotely, packed a bag, and went alone. My wife stayed behind with the babies. At first, it felt like a break. Quiet house, empty rooms, no pressure. Almost peaceful. That didn't last long. First, it started small. I would put something down, and it wouldn't be there later. I blamed stress. Then I started losing time. I'd sit down to work for 10 minutes, and suddenly, it was night. No memory of the hours in between. I told myself I was just tired, overworked. That's all. Then I met the neighbor, an older woman. She came by with a golden retriever she said she had been watching for my uncle. She insisted I take him. The dog's name was Buster, and from the moment he stepped into the house, he didn't feel comfortable. He refused to go upstairs, would sit at the bottom of the stairs and stare upward, like something was there. But he stayed close to me, so I kept him. I thought he was the only normal thing in that house. I was wrong. One afternoon, I turned my back for less than a second, and Buster was gone. Just gone. Doors were locked, windows closed. No sound, no trace. I searched every room like a madman. Nothing. I was about to call the police when I opened the front door, and he was standing there, right outside, like he had never left. That should have been my warning, but I was just relieved. I let him sleep in my room that night. After that, work took over everything. Calls, emails, deadlines. I stopped noticing the house again. Or maybe I started ignoring it. Time kept slipping. I'd forget to feed myself, forget to sleep. But Buster stayed close, even when I didn't deserve it. Then, one night, everything changed. A door slammed upstairs. I heard it clearly. Buster heard it too. For the first time, he ran upstairs before me. I followed him with a frying pan in my hand. I don't know why I chose that. When I reached the bathroom, the door was open. I was sure I had closed it earlier. Inside, there was nothing at first, just darkness. Then I stepped forward, and my foot hit something wet. I turned on my phone light and saw red, covering the floor. I froze. My mind immediately told me blood. I ran, called the police. When they arrived, they checked everything. No forced entry, no body, no blood. Just old pipes. Rusty water, they said. They even laughed a little. I wanted to argue, but I couldn't explain what I saw. My phone was ruined in that water. I told myself I imagined it. Stress again. That became my answer for everything. But the house didn't stop. I started hearing things when I was alone. Sometimes footsteps. Sometimes whispers I couldn't understand. Then one night, I found words written on the wall upstairs. Just 4 words. Losing your mind? I felt something crack inside me because I didn't remember anyone entering the house, and I still don't. I called the police again. They searched everything. Still nothing. But this time, one of them said something strange. He mentioned other cases in the area, people reporting things in houses like mine. Same pattern. No break-ins, no evidence. Just disturbances. Like reality itself was bending. That night, I called my wife. Or she called me. I can't remember anymore. Her voice sounded wrong. Not angry, not worried, just off. She told me I had been gone for 9 days. I told her I had been working. She went silent. Then she said something I'll never forget. Something that didn't sound like her at all. She said, "I wonder what Buster tastes like." I dropped the phone. When I looked up, the house felt different, longer, bigger, wrong. I tried to leave. The front door wouldn't open, but the back door did. Of course it did. Buster ran out first. I followed him into the yard. He didn't stop at the fence. He slipped through it like it wasn't there. And when I climbed after him, the world changed. The moment I crossed that fence, I wasn't in a yard anymore. I was back inside the house, upstairs, standing in the hallway. Buster was gone. My legs gave out. That's when the phone rang. It was my wife again. But this time, she wasn't alone. I could hear another voice in the background. A man screaming. Then silence. Then footsteps. I ran downstairs and everything snapped back into place. The house was normal again. Or at least, it looked normal. A police officer was inside, saying he responded to a call. I don't remember making it. I grabbed something from the kitchen, a knife. And then, I don't remember the moment it happened, only the result. The officer on the floor, me staring at my own hands, trying to understand what I had done, or if I had done it at all. Buster was lying nearby, not moving. I held him for a long time. I don't know how long. Eventually, I stopped thinking, stopped reacting, just stayed there until morning came. I buried him myself. I told myself I had to move on, but I don't think I ever left that house. Because even after everything, I'm still here. Still working. Still hearing things. Still seeing the words, losing your mind. Maybe you think this is just a story. Maybe you think I snapped. Maybe you're right. But answer me this. If I was imagining it, then why do you feel like you've heard this house before? If you've made it this far, you probably shouldn't ignore it. Because now, you've heard it too.
If you want more stories like this, like, subscribe, and whatever you do, don't answer if you hear your name in an empty house.